Michael Jorgensen reached for the panel above his head. He switched the exterior lights on and raised the front covering so that he could see outside of the sub. He liked to do that sometimes, though he didn't need to. The Olympus searcher submarine Merman, like the military submarines of the last century, navigated mostly by sonar and other sensors that were developed in the past 20 years. But Michael liked to watch the water. Its emptiness soothed him. Sometimes he swore that he could see movements out there at the edge of his vision. There were, of course, life forms here at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean, but they tended to stay away from Olympus subs.
"Oh, God, you are doing it again,"
Peter Manus said from his post at the sensor station. "I like looking at the ocean," Michael replied sullenly.
"Well, normal people like me are terrified. All that nothingness, it's weird. You are looking, but you don't see anything."
"Then don't look."
"I can't not look,"
Peter said, exasperated.
"Well, then shut up and watch the screens."
They spent the next 10 minutes in silence. Michael stared into the dark ocean, but there was nothing to see, of course. They were 700 meters above the ocean floor, and there was nothing around them but water. The lights couldn't illuminate more than a couple meters in front of them. From time to time, he would catch a glimpse of something out there, moving fast on the outskirts of his vision. He tried to follow it with his eyes, trying to discern what it was and what it looked like. Much of the ocean remained unexplored, its life unknown. Most of the underwater cities were built close to the coast, and the majority of the Concordis cities were in the Mediterranean, with only 2 cities built in the Atlantic, and both of those were placed at around 90 kilometers from the coast. The League had only 1 underwater city, and while Olympus had many mining operations in the Atlantic, none of them were anywhere close to the depth the Merman was currently at. The Merman was slowly mapping the bottom of the West European basin at the depth of 4 kilometers. The Searcher-class submarines were equipped with state-of-the-art sensors, which made Michael's and Peter's job easier. They were meant to map the ocean floor, discover metal reserves, and discern if it was profitable for a mining operation to be constructed here. If it was, a message would be sent to Olympus headquarters in Nephthys. If not, the deposits would be marked and coordinates sent to their base in Sedna, the 2nd city built in the Atlantic. It was a boring job, with sensors and computers doing most of the work. The only reason for a crew was that the computer couldn't be programmed for all eventualities, so the crew was more of a failsafe.